Welcome, fellow Survivor fans, to the Best Damn podcast, where we talk about Survivor every single week. This season, with me is my mom. Say hi.
Hello.
And I'm Dave. So why don't we just jump right into it? Feels like a
Yeah,
roller coaster.
I think we should get crack-a-lackin'.
Roxroy, yeah, love it.
Yeah.
So one thing, I don't know how many of last season's episodes you watched of me and Drew, but one thing I always ask Drew at the beginning of every episode: who said the title of this episode?
Oh, that'd be Marianne.
Sure was. I like Marianne.
She's that smile, her little, Jeff's lady in the front. You haven't stopped smiling since your feet hit the sand. Explain that, and that was hilarious.
Yep, I
She's
like that
funny.
Jeff is like, why are you smiling? Like, there's no sense
Like
of
I
worry on
hear
your
you're
face.
there. It's like
She
I
could,
just want to jump up and down and scream and dance.
I know. So, obviously the episode starts very similar to how they all start, where they're all on the pontoon boats, all in a row, and they do
Yeah,
a bunch of talking heads, talk about everyone's story.
yeah.
Anyone you
Yeah.
particularly liked during that boat scene before they get to the beach?
I don't know.
That stuff isn't really consequential until they actually interact with each other. They can say whatever they want on the boat.
Well, I know, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think Romeo's an interesting player.
Oh yeah, the pageant manager or like coach, pageant coach. Yeah.
Yeah, pageant. Yeah, I think he's going to be in contention. I think he's fly enough to, wiggle his way around everybody and
fair enough.
Flip flop enough to keep himself safe.
So yeah, the three tribes this time around is Taku, Vadi, and Ika. I think last week when we did this, I pronounced it Ika because I was like, I need to hear them say it out loud before I know how to pronounce it.
I thought it was Ika. No?
No. They say Ika.
Oh, okay.
They pronounce the I as two E's, it seems. That's how Jeff said it every time.
Okay.
I don't know, I guess.
I wasn't paying all that much attention to that.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's funny the things I write down that I make notes of.
Yeah, I know.
I love everyone's reaction to no food.
Oh, great. And people that there was a few of them there. I've seen 40 seasons. I guess I just throw that all out the window now.
Well, a lot of people don't realize a lot of older seasons didn't go have food or rice either. Like this isn't the first, like 41 and 42 isn't the first season to go no rice.
No,
they're the first one in like 10 years to go without rice. Like,
but they always had something else. They always had fruit more accessible, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fish. They would give you stuff to fish with. Yeah.
I think there was some way to get food easier than what these guys have it.
What did you think? This is one of the things I put as they're talking to everyone after he talks to Marianne. He talks to Zach, the kind of new version of Cochran. What will it take to win Survivor 42? And what does Zach say back? I guess we'll find out, Jeff. Jeff's like, explain that. What does that mean? And then he sits there and goes, no, I was trying to be clever. I biffed it. Sorry. I don't know where I was going with that.
Been my delivery.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, the poor guy.
Anything you got to get to before we start the challenge?
No, I don't think so. I kind of wondered how they decided who did what on the challenge. I mean, to me, obviously they can't show you everything, right? But I just wondered how each individual team did that. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, Daniel, Tori, and Jonathan start us off where they have to race into the forest, get some oars, come back, and then 2-3 other people have to go somewhere else and collect oars. And then once they got all their oars, they do some boat stuff.
Last week you asked me, I think, what are some of the things that you feel you would have to know or be able to do if you knew you were going to go on Survivor. Okay. Yep. And I think number one was fire.
Making fire was mine. Yeah.
Okay. My thing would be know how to paddle a boat.
Ooh, I almost thought you were going to say untie knots really fast, but
no, paddle a boat.
That's a good point. They really all struggled at that.
They did. They always do. I don't know why, but they always do.
It's a tough one trying to get 6 people on a boat to all paddle the same way as hard as you. And
if you're a Survivor fan, you know there's water. You know that. You know there's boat.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anyway, okay, so the second crew goes to get paddles.
Yep.
And that's Lindsay, and do you pronounce it High?
High. Yep. Andrea.
Andrea.
Not Andrea, just Drea.
No, and
Drea. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So they have a decision to make. Now, I took a picture of this in the episode, so I'm going to read it out here. You must wait for all 3 players before you make your decision. And that is good news. This part of the challenge requires 0 effort from you. So if you want, you can grab your paddles and race back to your tribe, or you can agree to secretly work together and each earn an advantage in the process. You must each untie 20 knots to retrieve your advantage. To cover up your lie, spread mud and fake blood over your body to prove how hard you work to get your paddles. You're only moments into the game and you already have your first big opportunity.
Yeah.
So, what would you do?
Oh, definitely.
Would you definitely go for the advantage? You wouldn't take the paddles? You would do exactly what they did?
Yep, I would.
Because they all talk about it. Well, they all talk about it, and I can't remember who. I think Lindsay was like, being deceitful so early, and then High's like, we came here to play. Yeah, what are we doing?
That would be me. I came to play.
Yeah.
I
really like that twist. That was one they didn't do last season. I liked it.
I loved it. I think that High went way overboard with the mud and the blood.
I know.
And it didn't even, blood. I would have little trickles down your face or down your arms. Not.
Yeah, not cover yourself in blood. What the hell? Like,
it looked like paint to me. I don't know. And then I forget on his team when he gets back, one of them says, "Are you bleeding?" Yeah.
And they just keep going, and then they get in the water stuff, and by the time they're at the end of the challenge, he's all washed off, and just no one addresses it. No one's like, wow, all your cuts on your chest are fine now.
Are healed.
Yeah. No one brings it up. I can't believe no one. I loved having all the 3 tribes being like, wow, they're taking a really long time. I hope they're okay. Like, ooh, I'm really worried for them. Yeah. Should they be gone this long? Yeah, trying everything it can to not give the game away.
I know, right?
Oh, but yeah, I liked that challenge. I wish they had done something like that last season.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So yeah, more water stuff in the boats. Yeah, very disorganized group of people. Luckily, the one tribe has Jonathan on it, and he's a beast.
Well, yeah, they didn't have anybody that could make a stick long enough and strong enough to get the key, though, could they?
Whenever I see that challenge where you have to tape or tie sticks together to get the key, or in this case it was Flint. What?
Well, how would you attack that one?
Well, like I always think you can double up the sticks, make it a little sturdier, but then I started thinking in my head, and as I'm watching them, I'm like, I think they give them less and less each challenge to do that with because they want the things to fall apart. They don't want to give you every chance. Right? It used to be more sticks, and if you took longer, it'd be sturdier, but you take longer. Now it seems like they give you just enough to barely do it for all 3 tribes.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, because they were all pretty flimsy.
Oh, yeah.
By the end, right? And I'm thinking, did you guys use all your pieces of wood?
That's what I was thinking. Like, how many of those little piece of sticks did they give them? Just like 10 each and go to it? Like, that's crazy.
I don't know. You got to put those things in. How do you get that to stay together? I don't know.
Maybe we can add that to the list of something we would practice whenever one of us gets on Survivor.
Most definitely.
We get some kindling together and some string and just practice our own challenges.
Sticks together. This all is going for Liam training.
So Liam training, yeah. The reward was a pot, machete, and flint.
Right. And I kind of wondered why they were so excited about that, because there's nothing to cook in that pot.
Well, you need to boil water.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, water, fire to keep warm. Machete, definitely.
Maybe if you find a fish, maybe if you find, maybe.
Yeah, true. Maybe.
So, yeah, Ika wins. They get sent off in their boat. But they want to keep what is it? They want to look at Daniel, because when he was getting one of the oars, he falls and says he thinks he might have dislocated his shoulder.
Yes, so they call in medics.
Yes. Everyone steps aside. They say, yeah, you're definitely dislocated, and Jeff is trying to be all the interviewing the like
Right.
the paramedic,
Doctor?
and is like, okay, so how do we fix this? And she's like, well, sometimes it requires surgery. And Daniel's face was like, surgery? What? And then,
What?
and then she's like, well, we could just pop it right in. And he's like, yep, do it. Pop it
Yeah.
back in. Whew.
Yeah.
It was that sound it made. I'm curious if that was the actual sound it made, or did they add something? Because that sound
I don't think
painful.
so. And Jeff goes, oh, I saw that.
I saw it go back into the socket.
I saw it. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm waiting for that to happen again, because the medic did say you need to just we're not going to pull you, but be aware it could happen again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So then after a commercial break, it just starts going to all three tribes. It runs through them all where they all meet each other.
Yes.
Ika decides to just go around in a circle, say their age and what they do.
Yeah.
Tori decides to fib a bit here.
Tori decides to what?
Fib
oh, she
bit.
does. She fibs.
Yeah. She says she's a caregiver instead of a therapist.
Well, I don't think I'd tell people I was a therapist either.
Yeah.
I'm not on Survivor. Nope. I mean, she would be the first to lie.
If anyone wants to put stuff in the comments, is there other jobs out there if you were on Survivor you would lie about? Right? Because like Brandon lied about being Russell's nephew.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple people, like Sarah's lied about not being a cop. Tony tried to not be a cop. He said he was in construction.
Tony. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that lie, and I'm just curious, like, why lie about one thing versus another?
I don't know, and especially if you're a cop, like, I don't know. To me, that would show. And like a caregiver, I don't know. I think Tori's going to be a little hard on that one, because caregiving would, I don't know, I think kind of carry over. She'd be more like the mom of the tribe, even though she's younger.
I think, yeah, I can see why you would lie about being a therapist, but I think the later it goes on in the game, she's going to come across like a therapist a lot more. You know what I mean? Like,
I think so too. I think she should have picked something else, though.
Yeah, something.
A grocery clerk, right?
What? I say I would have picked something with like some intelligence associated with it, just so people don't. Because when she talks about in her talking heads about therapist stuff, she sounds
intelligence.
I'm not. No, but I'm saying like doctor or something that kind of has some intelligence to it. Maybe not the stigma of therapist.
True.
That's just me.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got?
I don't know what I was going to say.
Okay.
So they go, they do the sticks. They win. Yeah. They get back to camp. Blah blah blah. Where were we?
Because now we're at Taku and Vadi have the sweater savvy challenge.
Yeah, but the way they picked it, okay, I like the way, the strongest guy in the tribe was like, yeah, I don't want to do this alone, but the way he put it to the team was, yeah, we need to sink or swim together. We need to stick together.
That was very clever. He realized he'd be the one having to do it. If they had said, let's just fill the water bottle. Who's our strongest guy?
Yeah. No.
Smart of him. I was like, that's clever, Mike. I didn't expect you to be that clever right away. I'm impressed.
Neither did I. But then, of course, he's the one that goes, yep, there's 9 triangles.
Yeah. And someone's like, yeah, I'm already up at 36.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And same with Jonathan, the look on his face when that happened, he's like, yeah, I've got 11. And the other guy's like, yeah, I've got 38. And he's like,
yeah, this is not my challenge.
What?
Yeah. So it's fill a bucket of water. Oh, last season, if you remember, they had 2 people had to do it. So this time they just did 1, and no one picked the triangles last season. No one.
No.
It was Danny and Deshaun filling it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who had to fill it on the other tribe. but
Yeah, I can't either.
yeah,
But they did some idol hunting, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I
So
thought it
that's
was
what
very interesting that they both went triangles. I
yeah,
was very surprised. I don't know if
I was
I paused and tried to look at it. I don't know if I could count more than like 30 something. Like there's no way I'm
I know.
getting to 51.
I was surprised at that answer because I did the same thing. I looked at it and I was like, "Whoa, how
That
did
would
you
take
guys
me a
do it?"
while. Yeah. I'd
Well, they
like to
had 4 hours.
I'd like to see how long it actually took them. I want to know how quickly they both did it. If they did do 4 hours straight, or did they get it done in two? They didn't show you.
Right. I don't know, Jenny, on, Vati,
Oh yeah, she was insulting.
yeah,
She was throwing a serious shade at her tribe mates.
she is a puzzle freak.
Yep.
Yep.
Because she's like, okay, why don't we just all do it and we'll all just count our triangles? And suddenly everyone is like, within 10 or 5 seconds, are like, I got my number. She was like, oh, my tribe's an idiot. There's no way they got the right answer by now. Guys, just let me do it. Step aside. Like, oh, it's hilarious.
And then she
So,
started showing them, and they're like, "Oh, oh," right?
yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be a tough one because, like, oh, I would definitely get that wrong. I'd be working on the shelter if I was on one of those tribes. I'd be like, you don't
Oh,
need
yeah,
me
for sure.
here. This is, yeah,
I like the way they did that. 3 of them went over and went, "Okay, let's figure out shelter stuff while these guys do the puzzle,"
that's
right?
smart. Yeah, there's no point in having 6 people all stand there arguing about triangles. Just put your
No.
smart guys on it, and yeah, Jonathan's
Yeah.
way better at building a hut anyway. So,
Oh, same with Mike, right?
yeah,
Yeah, those 2, yeah, they did that well.
I
Yeah.
was, yeah, I was impressed. So then we get, oh, so the amount of triangles, 51. You
Yes.
had to make 2 guesses.
Yeah.
Whew, 51. I would not have gotten that. Okay. So
I
then
know.
we get back to what is it? The blue tribe? What is it? Ika? And Roxroy is very pissed at his tribe.
Well, he's the oldest one, and the young'uns are not pulling their weight, he doesn't think, right?
He would fit right in like Survivor season 8, but
Yeah,
anything past like 20,
yeah.
people will sleep on the beach with no shelter if they can make alliances on day one. The shelter is not the biggest priority anymore in
No,
modern Survivor. Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Relationships are number 1.
exactly.
But I like his attitude. It's game time. Let's get crack-a-whacking,
I like
right? He's
crack-a-lacking.
like,
Yeah,
"Ah." I'm gonna use that at work.
crack-a-lacking.
Definitely, that is my new word at work.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like the
So
way that I'm not a cat herder.
yeah.
Like, it's a good thing people can't hear him because, oh my, it'd be like, "You're out of here," right?
Well, they show people like Tori and like Zach getting like fruit and stuff, and they're just like letting things fall on them. They're just like, whatever, we can get it. And Roxroy's
I
like, this
know.
is not a vacation. We need to pick up the pace.
Yeah, we need to get this done. Yeah,
So then
yeah.
we get a nice little reveal of Hi, Lindsay, and Andrea's advantage they
All
got.
opening up their little goodies. Oh, and that was the other thing. I'll come back to this later. Keep going.
So
So they all
they essentially
yeah,
each have an amulet now.
yes.
And so if they get back together, like if there's 3 amulets in the game, it works as an extra vote. If there's
Yeah.
2 amulets left in the game, it's a steal a vote. And if there's 1 amulet left in the game, it's a full-on idol.
Yeah.
So they're kind of now all marked men, but only to each other and who they decide
Yes.
to tell. Because why
Yeah.
wouldn't you want the other 2 out and just get your full-on idol?
Totally.
Why would you want
Totally.
to keep all 3 in the game at the merge just to get an extra
Exactly.
vote?
Okay. So, but it depends who makes it to the merge
Mm-hmm.
and whether or not they need to use an extra vote or blah 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 to or what's the first one?
It's extra
Extra.
vote, and then 2 is steal a vote, and then the last one is full on
Okay.
idol.
If you needed to use an extra vote to keep somebody, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's going to be some
Why
interesting
would you
gamesmanship.
want
I'm
them to
curious if
say
they're going to
that?
work together or eat each other. I am very curious.
I'm gonna say they're gonna eat each other.
I would bet that too. Yep.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that is a twist they didn't have last season.
You know,
I kind of
I've
like
never
that one.
seen that. I like
Yep.
that. I like that.
So
I
what
do.
did you want to loop back to, or because the next thing I have is
No, just
Jackson.
keep going.
Okay.
Uh,
And we got a commercial break.
Drea snuck
Yeah.
off by herself and said to herself, "Yeah, they're going to think I'm looking for an idol. I don't care. I've got to see what this says."
Right.
Okay. Later, and I'm probably going to jump ahead just a teeny bit here. Tori goes off to look for food for 15 minutes, does some idol hunting, comes back, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, she was idol hunting." Why didn't they say that about Drea?
It's crazy why some people just, maybe she's like more threatening. Maybe everyone's like, ooh, because she did it early. Drea didn't do it till, oh, Drea, no, I guess.
Drea did it
It
first.
is tough how some people are more sus than others doing the exact same
I
thing.
know.
Yeah.
But then Drea, I think, kind of figured it out because isn't she the one that went to Romeo, was it, and said, "Oh yeah, Tori's idol. She's probably got an idol. She was idol hunting."
Yep. Zach spills the beans to Tori and is like, "Hey, everyone thinks you're super sus for idol hunting."
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting stuff.
It was interesting how that all played out.
So after our commercial break here, Jackson has a story for his tribe. What did you think of this? I really like this story. I'm not gonna lie, this was like loved ones episode. Like Jackson's whole storyline in this episode was like a loved one's visit. It got me a little choked up at times. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, no, it was good.
So Jackson ends up telling his tribe that he applied for Survivor 10 years ago, but as a woman.
As a woman. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really kind of cool that they're getting that kind of diverse cast, and his story about kind of not wanting to tell his parents and having to move out and then having to move back when his mom got sick, and then he actually ended up getting that relationship he wanted at the beginning. And it was really nice.
It was. It really was. I was very it was like I wasn't watching Survivor for a minute.
Yeah.
It was like, wow. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah.
And then it cuts to the Ika tribe, and Daniel talks about the scar he had, and they're like, "Oh, what's that scar?" And he's like, "Oh, it's leukemia from when I was a kid."
Yeah.
There's a lot of sad stories on this season of Survivor.
A lot of sad stories. Yeah. He was pretty darn sick.
Yeah. And then they try and do a little bit of levity with Zach and Romeo talking, where Zach has a talking head being like, "Yeah, asking someone if you want to be in alliance with them is weird because it's like going in for a kiss. You lean in and they don't. It's really awkward." And I'm like, "Okay, Zach, sure, I get it, fine." And then Zach and Romeo are walking, and they're like, "So, how are you feeling?" And Zach's like, "Oh my God, we're besties now. Sweet alliance, awesome. This totally worked." And
I know, right? And the skinny guys.
Yeah, I do like Romeo. I am curious to see how far he goes.
I think so am I.
And this is actually where Tori was searching for the idol, was right about here. I made in my notes.
Yeah, okay.
Anything you have to say before we get into the summit?
No.
Okay. No. Do you like how they all decide on who goes to the summit?
Well, that was kind of interesting. I mean, they all did it differently. Yeah, one of them. Oh
yeah. So Marianne volunteered because no one wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Jenny draws the short straw.
Yeah.
And Drea wins rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
I love it. They showed they all had 3 different ways of deciding. So one tribe was competing to go there, and the other 2 were like, "I don't want to, but if I have to,"
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting.
I figured it was going to be the climb the mountain, risk your vote.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one thing I don't want them to bring back next season. It's kind of my least favorite. I like if they only did it once or twice, but they're going to do it almost every episode to the merge, and that's what's annoying.
Did they do it that often?
Last season there was 1, 2. I want to say 3 or 4 last season.
There was at least 3.
Because there was one where Danny and Deshaun went.
Oh, there might
There
have
was
been
one
4.
where Shan and
Right.
Liana
Yep.
became friends. There's
Yeah.
one where Brad and like other people, Lindsay or something goes. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
So there was a couple, and just
Yeah,
none of
there
those
was.
people made it to the end. So I just thought it was just kind of inconsequential early game, but whatever.
I know.
So there wasn't as big as they walked up the hill. There wasn't like mingling between them, right? It wasn't like
No,
Shan and Liana becoming best friends, or
no, they didn't really chat about anything. And as a matter of fact, when they split ways and get to their little stands there,
yeah,
Jenny said something about, well, I don't even know these people.
yeah. The note
I don't know
said,
what they're going to do. And I thought, it said right in the beginning, get to know these people
yeah,
on the walk.
yeah. It
Well,
wouldn't have taken that many questions to realize, is this person going to
I
play it
would have been,
safe? Is
how
this
many
person
questions do you have? Blah, 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 right?
right? But what questions would you ask, not knowing that question is going to be asked later? Like, what could you have asked that would give you an insight on someone risking or protecting their vote? I don't even know how you'd gauge that after just meeting someone.
Well, you gotta watch lawyer shows to get that.
Oh, okay.
You take a real life situation uh, that's risky and say, what would you do in this situation?
Right.
Okay, job wise, okay, you've got a chance to move up, to get a promotion, but it's going to mean less time with your family, blah, 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 blah. So you'd be kind of risking that, you
Gotcha.
know, but you'd be helping them financially. So would you do it or would you not do it? Would you stay safe or would you, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ask them stuff like that, then you could get kind of because they're going to start talking at that point, and you find out, are they a risk taker or not?
Mm-hmm. What did
Right.
you think of everyone's decisions here?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't surprised by any of them. I
Really?
really wasn't.
Okay.
Marianne said right from the beginning, I'm going to play with my hands up, right? Talking
Mm-hmm.
about the roller coaster. So I knew her, Andrea. I mean, she's already been risky.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing the getting the advantage, going and sneaking around, looking at it. And then, Jenny's just been right down, straight and narrow.
I can't
So,
believe she didn't risk her vote. I was like,
oh,
oh,
I
Jenny,
didn't.
the other two are going to do it. I knew it.
Yeah, because it would have canceled it out, right?
That's right. So
Yeah,
because she protected her vote, the other two got the extra vote. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Somebody has to play it safe for that to work.
Yeah.
Then we get a commercial break, and then we get to a bit of a sad moment.
Yeah.
Jeff shows up at, what is it?
I
Taku?
had absolutely
Taku.
no idea why he was going there. I was.
How many times has Jeff showed up in an island in the past? He did
I
it
would
with
say
one
one more time.
survivor about his kid being sick or in the hospital or
Yeah.
something like that. He did it for
To evacuate them from the coming hurricane or something.
right, the hurricane. The one season of Survivor that's more than 39 days. Shoot, yeah, it hasn't happened very often.
It doesn't. It's usually a family emergency.
Yeah.
Or weather. Yeah.
Now, I didn't take too many notes here, but I didn't write down what medication was.
I didn't either. I'm not.
They didn't really disclose that.
They did. I was not sure what the I want to say it was like lithium.
Lithium. That's okay. Yeah, I remember them saying that.
Yeah.
But he said he used it as more of like a sleeping aid or a.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was.
I have no idea.
Looking it up, and thing was, like, yeah, he didn't. So medically.
So Jackson did not tell CBS Survivor that he was taking lithium until 2 days before they had to go shoot, and
you can't do that.
They decided to bring him on the show anyway for 48 hours while they try and figure out what to do. Yeah. And then they just decided, yeah, we can't.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do in that? As the show, as the producers.
I just thought it was kind of sucked that, like, on one hand, someone else could have been on that show and maybe making it farther. But so, like, on one hand, he did take away a spot from another Survivor fan, but at the
Okay,
same
okay.
time,
So
he was still given the opportunity by the show. They were still nice enough to be
right,
like, ah, we'll give you 2 days out there at best, and we'll figure it out from there. So I did kind of
right.
like it, but it's
So
hard.
I
I'm
have a
conflicted.
question.
Yeah,
So in the case, like, do they have other survivors, say 1 or 2 people, literally, ready, set
standbys.
to go?
Yep, they got standbys.
What? Huh,
There's people that have been cast, and then they get a phone call being like, "You won't be on this season. You'll be on next season. We're not
right.
going to fly you out in a week. You'll be coming
No,
on in 2 months." So
but if
they
they
can push
needed
things back
somebody
like that.
if they needed somebody in a day, say like the
Oh, I
day
don't
they're
think they can do that. That'd be whew.
well, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder if they had people that had quarantined that could fill in right away. Because I mean, it's okay, so you're an hour before the plane leaves, somebody says, "Oh, your mom died." You know, the guy's or girl's gonna go, "Okay, I'm not going." Do they have somebody that can fill in?
There was a character, I think last season or a couple seasons ago, that had a sick mother or a sick parent, and their grandmother or something like that was like, "No, no, you have to go. Don't worry about me."
Yeah,
And then oh, I think she quit the game halfway through. She was just like, "No, I feel
right.
like my grandmother needs me or my mother needs me. I can
Yeah,
just sense it." And at the end of
yeah.
the episode, it goes, "Yeah, 2 days after she got back to the States." I was like, "Whoa, crazy stuff."
Crazy stuff.
So they take Jackson out of the game. What did you think of Marianne's reaction? Marianne's reaction, I really kind of liked when she just starts crying and goes up and hugs him.
I'm sorry, I
Like
thought that was a bit much.
you thought it was a bit much? Oh, I
I did.
like that. It really drove the point home about how glad they are all to be there, right? It's they really
True.
did emphasize that it's like it's not like Jackson said, ah, I'll just apply next year. Jeff didn't say you're always welcome back. It was just like this was his one. There we go.
I
Works.
don't know what happened.
It's all good.
That was weird.
Okay. 5 seconds of silence. There we go.
Okay.
I'll edit all that out.
Okay. So what happened was, next after Jackson got taken out of the game,
Hmm.
um, they did the, challenge.
Yeah, the immunity challenge is next. Yeah,
That was interesting. That challenge was extremely difficult, but you gotta remember, it was made for 6 people to do. And now
that's a good
because
point.
Jackson was gone, they had to cut the other 2 down to 5 people. So 5 people were trying to do that.
I
And I
never
think
realized it was meant to be all 6. Yeah.
well, sure was, right? Jackson
Yeah.
should have been there. A 6th person should have been there.
One
So
thing
that must
I did want to make a note about before the challenge starts. I want to, pull out my little soapbox here. I have a hot take. The immunity idol this season sucks. A snake eating
well,
its own tail.
only
And
half
then
of it
and then the
sucked.
second part is like a stand for that snake. That's the second. You couldn't make anything better. Like, just do a smaller and a bigger one. Just do something like that. Like, I
I
was not
like
a fan of the idol. You like the
I like
snake?
I like the snake, but when
Okay.
Jeff picked up the stand and used
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's just wrong.
That's
What's going
ridiculous.
on with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
A
That
stand?
was
They
so
get
dumb.
stand? Like that? Yeah, no,
Yeah. I was very unimpressed. Okay. I just wanted to say that. If anyone disagrees, leave comments down below if you
yeah,
want to be
please do.
wrong. Um, but yeah, the idol sucks.
Yeah.
I don't have too much down here, but it's essentially the same boats they did in the first challenge. They just had to pick up and drag and pull along this course. I really thought there was going to be some sort of medivac where they were going to get dehydrated or something. Though they
Well, oh, I
looked
know, right?
tired.
At
Yeah.
the end of it, especially. But like I said, it was made for 6 people to do, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, 5 people, it was killing them, literally killing them, and even at
Yeah.
the end of it, Jeff's like, "Wow, you guys deserve that long drink of water," because they were all like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy. So I
that was
mean,
brutal.
obviously, well, not obviously, but Taku wins.
Mhm.
That's who's doing the puzzle for them. That was
That would
didn't risk
be
her vote. What's her name? Jenny.
Oh, Jenny is, Vati.
Oh, then who did the puzzle for Taku?
I wanna say Marianne was working on it, but
Oh,
I don't
maybe might have been Marianne.
Marianne and who? Omar? No. Jackson.
Oh,
No.
maybe.
Jackson, I think.
Okay.
Omar and
So yeah,
Jackson.
Taku wins, Vadi's safe, and Ika Ika gets to give up their flint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and head back to camp and figure out what they're gonna do.
Rockstar is like, "We're gonna get that back, Jeff."
Yeah. Roxboy's like, well, that's only temporary. And Jeff's like,
Yeah,
okay, whatever, man.
yeah, yeah. You'll have
So
a
they
chance at the next community challenge.
so what do you think when they get back to camp? And I think Tori tries to get the whole group, everyone together and just say, let's just talk about this now. We're all adults here. And
Yeah,
like
but,
that
I
never
mean,
works.
that's never gonna work, never gonna
Yeah.
work. Now I think, she had to do something because she is really scared because they were accusing her of idol hunting, and, now she's
Yep.
thinking, "Do they think I have an idol?" And, I mean, she's gotta throw it some other way. She's
Well,
gotta go,
Mike spills the beans and she's like, how do you know we thought you were idol hunting? Who told
"Oh,
you
no,
that
right?"
we think that? And Mike's like, damn, I'm in hot water now. Or Zach, not
I
Mike,
know.
Zach.
Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So then
know.
everyone just starts throwing names out there.
Yeah,
Roxroy gets thrown out there for not pushing or pulling. Tori
yeah.
for idol hunting. Zach
They
doing the puzzle wrong.
I know, I know.
They just eat
Zach
each other.
yeah. Zach didn't have the best defense, obviously,
No.
right? Yeah, poor guy.
I am really surprised that Tori wasn't more like more on the chopping block. I really thought that searching for an idol, just everyone is on board, but it's what Drea and her have a conversation, and then they're like, Roxroy's bad? Yeah, Roxroy's bad. Thanks for building our shelter. Bye.
Yeah, although I think when it comes right down to it, they went with strong people, right?
Right.
The weakest had to go.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose again.
Well, like that's may as well just go right into tribal council. It's the first tribal council is always kind of there's not much really being said, right? They all ask questions about what's it like being out here. It's
Yeah.
tough, yeah, obviously. So there wasn't really any like bombshells dropped here. It was just Tori and Zach trying their best to, you know, deflect.
It was a pretty mild council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, yeah, Zach, I like what Zach does when he goes to vote. First vote of Survivor season 42, and it's not even a vote, and plays his shot in the dark.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
I mean, I would have done that.
If I was Zach, yeah, of course, he had
Yeah,
no other option.
I don't think so either.
I am that tells me he wouldn't have made it far, right? Because no one used it last season. Zach was just so paranoid. He's like, I gotta try it. He even
Yeah.
mentions at the end when they all sit back down, he's like, yeah, if everyone's got the same percentage at going home, if you can let me add 15% to that, why wouldn't you? Now it's like,
Why would you?
good point.
Yeah.
Good point,
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drea gets her extra vote. Drea finds that out, which is good news
Yeah.
because she's playing it safe back at camp, being like, I don't know if I had the extra vote yet, so
Yeah.
I'll stick with the numbers.
And rolls it up and tucks it away. So I think she's going to be one of those players, or not one of those players, one of the only players that doesn't tell a million people she's got all these advantages. Because now she's got the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes with High and Lindsay.
Yeah,
right?
she got the an extra vote. She's got
I forget what that's
the
called. and then she,
The
yeah,
amulet one. Yeah.
yeah, and an extra vote now. And
Yeah.
if she finds an idol, she's dangerous.
She could be this season's Shan. I don't know who would be her Ricard though, but she's piling up the advantages without people talking about her.
Yeah,
She's not
that's it.
rubbing anyone the wrong way.
No, she's playing a great social game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's collecting all this stuff and just put all these little tools in my toolkit.
Is there anyone on her tribe you think she's gonna tell?
No,
Do you
I
think
can't
she's gonna
really
tell
find
like
it.
Jonathan? Oh, hold on.
No,
What
she's
team is she
got
on?
Romeo, Roxroy, Tori, and Swati.
Right.
So she's not going to tell the two women. She's not going to tell Rox because she doesn't
You don't think
necessarily like them.
you don't think she'd tell Tori? Her and Tori seem kind of chummy in this episode.
No, I think it's kind of to your face maybe, but behind your back, no, I don't.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's why
Fair
you're
enough.
not a woman. You wouldn't know these things.
I
Just
wouldn't
say,
know these things. Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
my take on it.
out of my depth.
I could be wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for anybody who's a fan of Zach, he ends up going home.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you think about when they all first sit down at tribal council and Jeff's like, Zach, I know you want to say it. When they're all dipping their torches in. If I was ever on Survivor, I would be like, Jeff, can I say this line, please? Can I have one go? Awesome.
Yeah, I would just be so overwhelmed at the fact that I was in the same room with Jeff, I wouldn't be able to speak.
Gotcha. Okay. So Zach ends up going home. Fun fact, he actually said in his little outro video at the end, the talking head, is I have to do some more research on this, but he says he's the first unanimous player, unanimously voted, because everybody wrote his name down. He did the shot in the dark, so he didn't write down someone else's name. So is that the first vote in Survivor history where there's not one vote for someone else? Because if everyone piles on you, you still vote for someone else, so it's not unanimous. It's not like anyone's ever voted for themselves out.
No, but there has been times where people have not had votes last season, but I don't remember if anybody got voted out.
No one, yeah, because the one
didn't have a vote, but that's
Courtney or Lynn. I can't remember who from last season. She used her shot in the dark, but it was still like a split vote. She didn't have to use her shot in the dark, so that was still a contested vote. This might be the first vote in Survivor history where all the votes are on one person.
It could be.
I just like when he did that, I was like, what, really? And I rewound and listened to it again, and I was like, interesting. Okay.
Oh, and the other interesting thing is, and I had to go, somebody else that was here watching with me caught this. I didn't catch it. I had to rewind. When Jeff snuffs his torch, he says that he is, quote unquote, the second person voted out.
Oh, second person to leave this game, I think. Not voted out.
No, he said voted out.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, it's definitely a flood line on Jeff's part.
Because I replayed it several times, right? And then we all talked about it here, and they were like, well, they don't want to know that Jeff doesn't want anybody else to know that Jackson had to leave for other reasons. But Jackson, when but Jeff told him, because when they all came to the challenge, Jeff said Jackson, quote unquote, had to leave the game.
He didn't say anything like medical reasons or anything like that. He just said he had to leave the game, and he just didn't disclose.
No. Okay. So he didn't say it, but yeah, he said second. Go back and check it, because he said second person voted out, and I thought, well, that's who was the first one.
Yeah, that's either Jeff screwing it up or saying that on purpose just to kind of not make a big deal about it. What?
I said, get me going.
Yeah, exactly. You want to know what else that I was super bummed about after watching this episode, and when I rewatched it the second time? No game within a game. There's no puzzles.
Well, that's because they've got that other thing going on.
What other thing?
It came up on my phone the other day, and it gave me options to, I can't even find it right now. Anyway, apparently every week you can, it asks you questions about the game. Is anybody going to find an idol? Is anybody going to get you
Oh.
back? Is anybody, you know, and they ask you all, and you, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, right? Yeah. And I think
Oh,
that
okay.
is a substitute, but be darned if I can find it to actually figure it out. It just
Okay.
pops up like randomly, and I go, oh yeah, and then I don't know.
I'll have to check cbssurvivor.com and see what they can do.
Yeah, and see what's there. Let me know if you find something, or if anybody finds anything or knows about this, please leave something in the comments. I would love to get into this.
So, I personally never watched the stay tuned for scenes from our next episode bit because I want to be completely surprised.
I agree.
But do you want to hear what the title of the episode is going to be?
Sure.
Good and Guilty.
Ooh.
Good and Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Interesting.
I
know, right?
Who's gonna get caught?
My favorite title from last season was Betraydar. That was when one character's my Betraydar was going off. I was like, that's hilarious. We'll just make up a new word. Love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully next week will be good. Hopefully, obviously wish all the best to Jackson and hope he's all right. But
yes.
But yeah, I would say 4 out of 5. If I had to give it a 5.
I will miss him. He was interesting to watch. I liked him.
He was interesting. Yeah, and it's not just because of the transgender thing, but I did get like Zeke vibes from him from a couple seasons ago. Remember Zeke? Yeah,
that was it. Yeah. I liked him from right the beginning. Yeah.
Well, unless there's anything else you want to add, I kind of think there's nothing more we need to touch on.
No, I think that's it. Looking forward to doing this again next week.
Yep, I will say right now my 3 possible winners. If I really had to pick 3, Drea could do it. I like High, and you know what? I'm going to be secretly pulling for Marianne, but I'm a little skeptical of that. But those would be my 3. And there was a player on Taku, Maria, just not a single talking head the whole episode.
No, I don't even know who she is. Oh, I do know who she is.
She congratulates the people after they get the triangle thing, and then that's the only time you see her the whole game.
And who is Chanel?
She was the army recruiter. You see her a couple times talking to what?
The one that's in the army?
Yeah, Chanel's your army recruiter. Swathi. No, that's Swathi. Yeah, Swathi is in what, Naval Reserve or something, or yeah, National Guard, something like that.
Yeah, and Chanel is who?
An army recruiter.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't have any talking heads, but she was buddying up with Daniel.
Okay.
She was like, everyone's buddying up on this tribe. I need to get a buddy. Hey, Daniel, let's at least get something figured out. Yeah.
Okay, my final 3 would be Tori.
Okay.
Jenny. And Mike. No, not Mike. Romeo.
I was assuming you were going to said that. Okay. Well, we'll keep that running total going, and we'll see how long our kind of favorites can survive. I can tell you a couple right now that I doubt are going to go far, like Omar. Like, I'd be very surprised if Omar makes it. Jonathan, we already discussed it. He's a big guy. He's not going to make it.
I don't think so.
Lydia probably not going to make it. There's a couple that I'm like, you don't have any chance, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Anyone else with some solid picks? Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We will be back next week.
Yep. All right. See you later.